That's more useful than you think.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. Is your phone silent?
Yeah. I'll put it on the table so it doesn't pick up any vibrations.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fake Philosophers podcast. Today, I'm Mike, and that was bad.
That was really bad.
That was bad.
That was so bad.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. Take two.
Take two. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Fake Philosophers. I'm Mike. This is Danny. Yeah, so Mitch and Eddie are off today, but hopefully the two of us can handle it ourselves. So what we're going to talk about today, I recently rewatched the very first Jurassic Park movie, and this is not a surprise to anyone. We all know this. It's been said 100 times, and I'll probably say 100 times more. In that movie, Timmy is the biggest worthless piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, when you have Jeff Goldblum, you don't really need anybody else.
You don't, I guess, but yeah, I just want to jump right into it. He's a worthless piece of shit.
Go on.
Yeah, no, because just right off the bat, he gets the light, and I think Lex says like turn the light off, or did he say turn the light off?
No, he doesn't get the light. He gets the goggles. Lex is the one that gets the light.
Okay, so Timmy does one thing. He tells Lex to turn the light off. Outside of that, completely useless. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that. But yeah, like just going into it, so he doesn't get out of the car in time, which isn't completely his fault. But like in the car in the tree, you're just gonna sit there.
Grant, I mean, we're grown men. He was a 10-year-old kid.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying when I was a kid that I was like a super kid. I'm not saying that. But I thought I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I was like, I could do this. I could do this. Mm-hmm. I could do that. So when it came time to act out, at least I thought I could. And I might have fallen off the car and killed myself.
Yeah.
But I would have been trying.
I mean, it's a bit different when you're face to face with a once extinct super predator. But no, I get it. I get it. When we're younger, we think we're invincible and that we can do most anything.
And yeah. So before we started recording, I said like even Lex throughout the movie, like she's trying to get Timmy out from under the car. Later on, like she somehow knows how to hack a this.
Because she's a hacker.
Of course, as a 13-year-old.
If that. But
yeah, if that. But yeah, and at least she was contributing. She was the one that pulled Timmy into the room to get away from the raptors. Mm-hmm. She was the one to even from then when he ran, she grabbed him again to take him away. And Timmy just was fucking useless. You can't climb a fence. That scene was so fucking frustrating. Like you're a kid. There's steps and handles everywhere.
Yeah,
that's the easiest fucking fence to climb in all fences.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't climb it.
I mean, yeah, it's for me. I don't see a reason why they keep bringing kids into these movies. Because I would say out of most of these movies, 90% of the problems are caused by the kids.
Yeah.
In the first Jurassic World movie.
Hold on, pause before we change subjects.
Okay.
We didn't even talk about the hacking scene.
Oh yeah.
Where Timmy's literally doing nothing.
He could have grabbed the gun for him. He could have done something. Instead, he's just sitting behind his sister going, come on.
He could have added 10 more pounds of pressure to the door. Like he could have done something.
They should have just killed him and used him as a doorstop.
Yeah. Instead, he was distracted.
He would have been useful.
Yeah. Instead, he was distracting his sister.
Yeah.
That was his major contribution, was to delay her from getting her job done.
Yeah. I can just imagine the kid playing to me. He's like, hey, Mr. Spielberg, should I be doing something in this scene? Like, I could go get the gun for... No! You just sit there and be annoying.
You would solve the problem. We need the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just... It irritated me, and I forgot how bad he was. But you were saying in the movies, kids in general.
I just... Because, yeah, a lot of the problems in the movies are caused by the children in the movies. And I understand why they're putting kids in the movies to make it more marketable to the younger audience.
Sure.
But yeah, every problem in these movies is caused by a kid at some point.
Yeah, and then especially like, granted, so the kids in the first one, I kind of get because it's like his nephew or his grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the girl in the Lost World
Mm-hmm.
literally had no business being there.
No, I mean, she does gymnastics and kills a raptor,
Yes,
but you know,
which is another,
showmanship.
Yeah, but like she, aside from that, is used like she just doesn't belong. She just doesn't.
Yeah.
They created her for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think she was even in the Lost World book.
She was.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you read the book?
No.
Then why would you know that?
Someone told me that.
Oh, okay.
And I believe everything.
Yeah, she's in the book.
People don't lie to me. Okay. And she does the gymnastics and hits the raptor in the book.
I don't remember that part. I think that was just for the movie
Sure.
because why not? Using gymnastics to kill an extinct species.
Hey, gotta get the job done.
Way to go. But yeah, I mean, even if like in Jurassic Park 3, that kid was probably the most useful kid in the whole series.
You beat me to it because even though he caused the problem,
Yeah, he did.
he definitely caused the main problem
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. He was the catalyst, but he was also resourceful and he contributed.
Mm-hmm.
He survived on the island by himself. Like
For like 18, no, it was like a
forgot.
long time. It was
I
like
forgot. It was
6 weeks or something
significant.
like that.
I don't know if it was 6 weeks.
It was a while.
I think it says like a week or two.
Okay.
I think.
Might have been like 18 days. I don't
Something.
know. It was
Either way,
significant. Yeah.
Either way. And then then Jurassic World, both those kids were.
First of all, both those kids were just fucking annoying.
Yes.
The one kid was just trying to get laid. The other kid was just a whiny brat.
Yeah. And then he, in my opinion, gives the worst line in the entire franchise. Or top 5.
Which one? The younger one or the older one?
The younger one.
Uh-huh.
Just we need more teeth.
Because that's how it works.
I understood the throwback, the callback to when she's talking about how they're selling the dinosaurs. Like, we need more teeth. That's what so I get the callback, but that's what the kid would say. And she would just know to go get the T-Rex.
He's just sitting there Rain Manning dinosaurs and just 72, 75, 77. We need more teeth.
More teeth.
Yeah.
That was, in my opinion, top 5 dumbest lines in the whole franchise.
That was pretty dumb.
That was pretty dumb.
And then, what was it? In Fallen Kingdom, you had the little clone girl.
Yeah, and she was dumb too.
She was.
I think everybody. This is where I think I am different from most of the audiences. I think everyone was like, "Yeah, free the dinosaurs," and I was like, "No, let them die.
Let them die.
Let them.
Let them die.
Like, this is bad.
This has been the problem for the last 5 movies.
Like there is a way." Like, well, you know, did you see that sketch online? It was a fake movie trailer for the pool. They're like, there's a shark in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, don't go in the pool.
Don't
They're
go
like,
in the
no, we can't. We have to fight.
we have to go into the pool.
Like, that was their don't go into the pool.
Yeah.
Like, just let them die.
Just let them die. No.
Like, the island's gone.
Yeah.
Like, just let them die. And I get the whole, the girl's like, didn't she like, they're just like me.
Yeah.
Or she said something like that.
So, okay, so should we kill you too?
Yeah, and I was like, so now you just cause chaos on a grander scale because you.
Now they're going to be interacting with humans all of the time.
Yes. And I'm actually curious for the third one. I'm hoping it's going to be really good. Because I'm curious where it goes just from there.
Well, I mean, I honestly don't know, but I remember reading a plot synopsis of where they wanted the last movie to go, and it was raptor-human hybrids.
I think that was the idea for the first one.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then they were just like, no.
No.
But that's where the whole weaponization of them
Yeah.
originates, was that they wanted the hybrid.
Yeah.
Which I still kind of want to see that movie.
You've seen it. It's Velocipaster.
If it's that good.
Dude, honestly, that would be the ultimate way to bastardize that film franchise. Would just be combining humans and dinosaurs, or combining the Fast and Furious and dinosaurs.
They better not do that. I know a lot of people are for it. I'm not. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the Velociraptor, I guess you would call them were-raptors. I actually think that'd be interesting to watch. But not Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
not Jurassic Park.
That needs to be an
separate
asylum movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or even like if Zack Snyder
Zombies versus dinosaurs with human dinosaur hybrids.
Or even, I think I told you my idea was velociraptors versus vampires, based on a dream I had.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool dream, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, spoilers. Coming 2022. I call it V cubed.
V cubed. Vampires and velociraptors.
Vampires versus velociraptors. And the logo is like capital V, lowercase v, capital V. I know how to sell this shit.
There's a lot of things you can do with the marking, like the 2 V's can be vampire teeth. They can do the 3 V's as velociraptor claws.
Ooh,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Or like it could be one and the other.
Yeah.
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 And then like the opening credit, like it spreads apart into the words.
Yeah.
I had the plot down actually
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
The dream I had, no plot.
No
Just
plot.
chaos.
It was just chaos, yeah, I'm sure.
But I had the plot down for
Like, would the vampires be sucking the blood of the velociraptors?
So no, in the dream, which was probably a fever dream now that I think about it. In the dream, I was a vampire, and so was all my best friends in the dream, which was no one I really knew in real life, just the people in the dream. And we were just fighting raptors. We weren't like eating them. We were just fighting them. And the image I remember, which was dope, and if we ever make this movie, investors, it's gonna be in the movie. There was a part of the dream where, like, you know, the raptors in the Jurassic Park were like they kind of and they like lunge and they jump. One of them did that, and I just palmed it. And slammed it in the ground, and it was one of the coolest moments in any dream I've ever had. And that has to happen in the movie.
Just
It was pretty much like boom, and then he died instantly.
what drugs are you on?
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
I want to have that kind of dream too.
I usually have really weird ones. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say really weird ones. If that one was cool, but also weird.
But what's like, okay, so here's the thing. And while we're on the topic of dinosaurs, after seeing the first Jurassic Park movie back in '93, since '93 up until about, I want to say like a year or two ago, I would have recurring dinosaur like nightmares. You know, because we all have those dreams where something's chasing you.
Yeah.
And this one, it was the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. It was the T-Rex and the raptors.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but they just ended. I don't have them anymore, but I remember them being just absolutely terrifying. Wake up shaking, cold sweat.
Sure.
But I think it just goes to show like how good those movies were. Like they were so real, and like the special effects departments for those films just did such a great job.
Especially the first one, because I think the first one, it was kind of CGI was kind of it was early '90s, so it wasn't really around like it is now. But the practical effects that they used were perfect.
Well, I mean, and like if you go behind the scenes on that, like they say, like because they shot so much in the rain, the T-Rex, when it was in storage, would malfunction and just start moving on its own
and frighten the shit out of people.
and just scare the shit out of people coming in to check on it.
That would be terrifying.
Oh yeah. But yeah, as far as the kids go, I get why.
Yeah, back to the kids.
Make them better. Make them the kid from Jurassic Park 3, where they're self-sufficient. They don't need no man.
Or just at the very least, like I said, as a kid, not that I was anything special, but like you're not completely useless.
Mm-hmm.
Like even right now, my nephew, I think, Uncle of the Year. He's 11?
Okay.
No, he's 10.
Okay.
10 or 11-ish. That right. But even him, if like I'm doing something around the house and he's over, I could be like, hey, can you, I know this is trivial, but like, hey, can you just wipe the counter down? And he's smart enough to be like, okay, and do it. I know that's a trivial example, but my point is like kids aren't completely useless. They can do things.
Yeah.
Like I think we underestimate the intelligence of kids sometimes. Granted, they are dumb, but they're not as dumb as we think. Like they can do things. They're not incredibly dumb.
Yeah. I mean, how dumb of it was for like Ellie and Grant to not say, "Hey Tim, grab me that gun."
Yeah, and they should have.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But even as a kid, you'd think if you look over there and you see Lex going for the gun, and you hear Grant saying, "Get the gun! I can't reach the gun," or whatever he's saying, and I think she says it too. You're on your feet. Just push it over.
Just push it over. Yeah, you don't even have to pick it up.
Yeah, just push it over.
Just pick it up by the strap.
Yeah.
and hand it to him.
And then off topic for the kids thing, because we can go on that almost every. Let's not go off completely yet. One, I think the problem is very rarely do you get good kid actors.
Yeah.
Like what's her name? Blonde kid actress who was really good in everything she did. Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning, yeah.
Like Dakota Fanning was 1 in a million.
Another good one is McKenna Grace.
Which one was she?
She played young Carol Danvers in Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel.
Okay.
She's been in a lot of shit. She was in The Haunting of Hill House.
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And she's more recently on season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay. And then I think it's Chloe something Moretz, the one that was in...
Yes, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, she was in Kick-Ass, a couple other things. Like, she was really good.
Oh, she was great in Let Me In.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, so good.
But so, like, there are good actors that come around once, 1 in a million. But I think a lot of times when you get them, it doesn't, like, if they're that young, they're not going to be that good. Mm-hmm. Where, like, like the movie Chef.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I love
like
that movie.
the kid in that movie, it worked because he didn't need to be that good of an actor. It was kind of a
because he was not great.
He wasn't great, but it worked.
It worked. Yeah.
You don't need that depth. Mm-hmm. But like if you need a kid to be screaming from dinosaurs,
yeah,
and running from dinosaurs, you kind of need a kid who can act. And so if you write in a kid who's, I would say 10 or below, you're gonna have a bad performance.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, the older kid in Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a few things.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's a great actor. I think they could have just cast a better actor.
probably.
Because those two together were just annoying.
Yeah.
And then what was the joke? The chick in the movie who was like assigned to babysit them.
Yeah.
Was like the most innocent person.
Yeah.
And she got the worst death.
And it was because of those fucking kids.
It's one of the fucking kids. But yeah, I was gonna say. Off topic from the kids thing. I don't know about you. Do you just eat all the time?
Yeah. Like, it's a problem.
Not the answer I was expecting.
Look at me, dude. Yes, I eat all of the fucking time.
No, because what I was going to say is, like, the raptors, every predator in these movies
Is constantly
is
eating.
just always hungry, always pissed off.
They wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I remember I was talking to someone, and it was like, you see these guys in the wild now who, like, do walk up to lions. Mm-hmm. And granted, they're careful, but, like, don't get me wrong, I don't expect humans to walk up to these, prehistoric predators and cuddle up to them like they do with lions. Mm-hmm. But it is weird that they're just mad all the time.
Well, even the people that do that with the lions, they're seriously something like...
They're insane.
Yeah, they're insane to a certain degree. Like, either that or they have, like, just... They've grown up with these animals. Like, the animals, they've had some kind of bond or kinship with the animals. And we see that kind of in the Lost... Jurassic World movies.
With Blue.
With Blue and Chris Pratt's character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as your point is, I mean, it seems like it could be possible, but only with, animals of a certain intelligence, like the raptors. I don't imagine that could happen with, like, a T-Rex.
That I think that would be an interesting
that could
take,
be
just to see how that would work.
I would love to see just like a side,
like a spin-off.
A spin-off of just Chris Pratt's character just being friends with all the dinosaurs.
I mean, it wouldn't be too far of a stretch. I mean, even like you hear about people who raise bear cubs.
Yeah.
And they're fine and they get along. Mm-hmm. So not that a bear is a T-Rex, but I mean, it's theoretically possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing you have to remember. At any second, you could do something that triggers this animal to rip your head off.
Yeah.
And
murder you. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that with a T-Rex, I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. She trusts me. We have a bond. It's like you can literally sneeze and that animal will get so freaked out that it'll just bite your head off.
Imagine when you sneeze or you pop out a newspaper, the way your chihuahua reacts.
Yeah.
And imagine fucking T-Rex.
Because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an animal whose brain is not equal to its size.
Yeah. Well, mainly forget the brain. The point was that a chihuahua gets very aggressive very fast. And so now you're looking at the reaction of an animal 20 times the size of you.
Yeah.
But still, back to the point, kind of that they're just. I kind of laugh at like they're just eating all the time. And I think the only moment in I think it was the third one. It might have been the first one. Actually, it might have been the first one where the T-Rex is busts into the field, like grabs one of the things, and then just starts eating. And then they're like, okay, he's done. And the rest of the animals, like the dinosaurs, are just like, okay, and they stop running.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that scene? I can't remember which one it was.
It was the first one where,
Okay.
because Timmy says, "Look at all the blood."
That's right.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that, and I thought like that was a real moment because like he grabbed what he wanted to eat,
Stopped. He didn't go chase anymore. He got what he wanted.
and the rest, and everyone else was like the other dinosaurs were like, oh, okay,
We're
done.
safe.
Yeah.
We lost Jeff, but we're safe.
Yeah. But when it comes to the humans,
Yeah.
no,
They'll eat anybody.
they need to kill all humans.
Yeah.
It's like they know.
It's, you put us here. You made us. You deal with it.
But that was always something. Not always. When I was a kid, it was just like, yeah, dinosaurs. But as I got older, I was like, these people are just fucking mad. Just mad all the time.
All the time. It's like we were. It was that whole like Superman in the Justice League. You won't let me live. You won't let me die.
Just fucking mad.
Yeah, they're mad. Yeah.
Because even, which I never thought of until just now, the final climax scene in the first one, where the raptors are about to get him.
And then the T-Rex jumps in.
That is a spite attack. He doesn't. He doesn't go and eat them.
No.
He literally fucks up their day.
Yeah.
Throws one through the statue, and like it just is like, fuck you.
At the end, that roar is like, fuck you.
Like literally, I literally just did not think about that ever until just now.
Yeah.
That was just a spite attack.
Yeah.
Just fuck you.
It wasn't
Fuck
like,
you.
no, they're mine. Because he doesn't go after him at the end. In the book, they do. In the book, the T-Rex chases them
Oh, does he?
out of the
Okay.
building. Yeah.
Or does she? Sorry.
Yeah.
But no, that made me laugh just now. Like it really was just like, all right, fuck you, raptor. Fuck you, raptor. Fuck you. How did the T-Rex get in there in the book?
It's been so long I don't remember.
Because I remember that was a question in the movie.
Yeah, how did he get there? But first of all, without anybody seeing him,
Yeah, he kind of just popped.
because like they make it a point that you can hear the footsteps.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was like really quiet. You're just waiting for the raptors to attack, and you can hear a pin drop, but you can't hear a T-Rex walking up.
He's tiptoeing.
Yeah, tiptoeing.
Just poked his head through the door, squeezed in.
He's like, if I'm really quiet, I can get both of these raptors.
Just fucking ruin their day.
Yeah, and we don't. You literally don't hear anything until he bites down on the first raptor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, willing suspension of disbelief, I suppose.
Yeah. You're losing your touch, Spielberg. Go back in time and fix it.
I think that was one of those things, though, that everyone just kind of looked over it because it was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Spielberg knows. It's like, no, they're gonna think this is such a cool moment. They're not even gonna think about it until 20 years later.
That's absolutely true. Because even in some of the short things I've worked on, it's like, well, what about this thing? And it's like, no one will notice, and if they do, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like doing a flip in the middle of a fight. It's like, yeah, that's really cool. Nobody's gonna think about it though until like you wouldn't do this in a fight.
So, I will kind of disagree with that. That you're right that you wouldn't do that in a fight. What I'm saying is, even as a kid, I hated that shit. Specifically, in the Star Wars prequels, the lightsaber fights.
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone was like, "Oh, this is so cool and flashy and blah blah blah." I think it was the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul fight.
Mm-hmm.
If they just stopped fucking spinning around in circles, they could have killed Darth Maul like a dozen times. But they were too busy just spinning around.
Bro, you got to make it cinematic.
Fuck that. Like even as a kid, I was like, you
Stop doing that. Just stab.
Yeah, because I remember, and granted, it's the choreography, obviously.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think it was like Darth Maul turns and he just goes after Qui-Gon. So Obi-Wan is like open.
Yeah.
But then instead, he does like the spin move and gives Darth Maul time to turn around.
Gives you the power. You got to give it the power with a blade that can cut through anything. You got to give it a certain amount of power.
Yeah. Get that force going. Mm-hmm. No, I hated that. Because I remember in the moment, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, just kill him. Like, stab him. And then later when, was it Red Letter Media, did the Mr. Plinkett, he pointed out the other things about it, but he hits that too. He's like, these fights are ridiculous.
But I think when you look at the fights from the original series, those make more sense. Those are choreographed as you would a sword fight.
Yeah.
In throughout history. I think whoever it was, whether it be Lucas or one of the producers or even the choreographer, was looking at those and be like, God, these aren't cinematic. These are boring fights. These suck. What makes those fights good is the dialogue between the characters.
Well, that's what I think even Red Letter Media says in the original ones, is that it wasn't the actual choreography or the fight itself, it was the emotional implication behind it. The depth of it, the gravity of the fight.
Yeah. When you get Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fighting Darth Maul, there's no emotion in that fight.
They don't know
because they don't know each other.
Yeah.
This is just, you're Sith, we're Jedi, let's do this. And that's why I think they got to sell that fight by flaring it up a bit and throwing in that ridiculous choreography.
Well, I think you're right, and I think a smarter way of going about it would have just, you could build the gravity during the fight. Like if you're 2 Jedi and you can't overcome 1 Sith, it's gonna wear on you. And like even I mean, it's different, but like, well, actually,
how the hell did we get here? Like, I'm trying to retrace the steps. Like, we're now talking about
Timmy's an asshole.
The fights.
Timmy's an asshole, and Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan can't fight.
Can't fight. Yeah. Okay. That's the summary.
But no, kind of like I'm not someone who's gotten to a lot of fights myself. I've been part of breaking them up. Not even just working at the bar, like in high school, whatever. Like I'm not the fighter. I help stop the fight. But I think it was the Fight Club thing. Like, how do you know yourself, or you get to know, like you kind of have a strange bond with someone when you fight them.
Yeah.
And so I think with going back to the lightsaber fight, like it was a drawn out fight. Like, I guess in real time, not us watching it, but the characters real time, that fight probably lasted like half an hour. Like you talk to a boxer who boxes for 30 to 45 minutes.
They're winded.
There's a connection now. Like, you guys have been through some shit together.
Yeah.
So like that, you could have easily built on that.
Yeah.
Where just like by the end of that fight, they're tired, they're getting worn down. This fucking Sith is still giving it to us. And then where I do think it was different was when he killed Qui-Gon, because now Obi-Wan had like an emotional reaction, and it was still kind of circusy, but it was a little more straightforward attack. It wasn't as like
flashy.
Well,
and that's another thing, because like, yeah, you kind of, because 2-on-1, even with, you know, the lightsaber that Maul had, it's not fair. And it's like, so you have to sell that Maul is able to handle 2 guys at the same time. You have to sell that. And before they did that Darth Maul video of him like just cleaning house with Jedis.
Which video?
Huh?
Which video?
It was made like, I want to say in the last 5 years.
That was the fan video.
The fan.
Okay, because I was like, that's not canon.
Yeah, it's not canon.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But it was fucking dope. Like, the choreography and everything, and that was great, and it made sense, which was even better. But like they didn't have that, so it's like you have to show that Darth Maul, being one of the 2 Sith left, that he is a badass in his own right.
Yeah.
And you really can't do that 1-on-1, because then you can just say, oh, they're equal.
Yeah.
But to handle 2 Jedi at one time by yourself, that builds that character, and that's why that's why we love that character.
Yeah,
we love him because he's one of the only 2 Sith left. He handled. He was probably the greatest villain out of the prequel trilogy.
Oh, he's easily my favorite villain in the entire franchise.
Yeah. And like it sucks that for the longest time canon was he was dead, and then thank God they brought him back in multiple ways.
Yeah, I mean, because in the prequel, The Phantom Menace, did he talk? I forgot.
He had, I think, 2 lines.
I liked that Maul.
Yeah.
Because was it the Clone Wars and Rebels? He talked. He was like he was like me. He liked to hear himself talk, and I was just like, like I liked the quiet. Didn't talk.
What's
much.
wrong with yelling Kenobi?
And did he have an English accent in The Phantom Menace?
I don't know, because it was 2 lines. It was like only like 2 to 3 words. I think so, because Ray Park is English.
Okay, that would make sense. Because I remember I hated his voice in the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, but that's Sam Witwer doing
let's
the voice.
Just say no. I did like the Clone Wars. I did like Rebels. I want to say that. But I did, and I do like that they try to incorporate Maul. I didn't dig him that much.
Yeah.
I've always said, I'll say it 1,000 times, I find power in humility, and the quiet guy who just fucks everyone up. I love it.
Well, it's that Pai Mei shit. It's like Pai Mei doesn't say shit. He just lets his fighting do the talking for him.
Yeah, and I've always loved that. and so like in the cartoons, the show, they kind of take that away from him.
Yeah.
To where now he's arrogant, he's loud, and he has that English accent. And it's like, man, just say 3 words each episode.
Each episode, yeah, and just fight the rest.
And stop.
Yeah.
Like you don't, because I think that character, he doesn't need to talk. Like,
well, and I think it was because at that point, like Lucasfilm or whoever, Disney, was like, this is a popular character,
and it's a kid show.
We need to give him his own plot. Yeah, because in the Phantom Menace, he didn't have a plot. He was the obstacle.
And he was just a soldier. He was being told what to do.
Yeah.
So the episode where I think it was the last episode where I always forget her name.
Ahsoka.
I feel like I take the letters in her name and just rearrange them in my head.
It was Sawaka.
Yeah, I literally do that in my head. Almost like a dyslexic thing. Where she needs to get off the ship because the clones have churned, and so she unlocks Maul's cell, if you will.
Yeah.
And they have a conversation. He's like, "Oh, you need my help?" I forgot the conversation. That could have just been really easy. Like, okay, Maul, check it. We have a situation. I need to let you out so that you're gonna fuck people up, whatever. Like, you need distraction. And he just goes, "Okay." Not okay, but something like just a nod, like that. You see, he understands.
Agreed.
Something, and then just because I think in that scene he was very much like, "Oh, you need my help now," like, rah, rah, rah. And
then he gives like the backstory that like he just spoils the whole trilogy for everybody.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, it could have easily been him that agreed. Unlocks, he gives her a nod and runs off.
Yeah,
that I love that shit. Like, I had a professor, I forgot what movie it was, that he said that he played a villain, and it wasn't in the script, but he said, "Can you bring me?" It was like a torture scene, and he just said, "Can you bring me some cookies and a glass of milk to the crew?" And they're like, "The fuck?" But they brought him cookies and milk, so they started shooting. And I think the scene he told us about was it was like he's the crime like the boss, and like these guys his guys are like torturing this guy, beating the shit out of a guy. So they started filming. He was just watching his boys torture this guy. Yeah. And he said he was quiet, just, and the people were like, "This is fucking evil."
Yes.
They're like, "This is awful."
Dude, I made that realization that the best bad guys are the ones that don't bat an eye at what they're doing.
Yeah, they're quiet.
We watched recently a Handmaid's Tale episode. Spoilers if you're watching Handmaid's Tale and you're not caught up to season 4. Spoilers. But there's an episode where the main character, June, is getting tortured. And the guy doing the torturing is just this happy-go-lucky, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, just got to ask you a few questions. I hope we can get done quickly, and then we'll get you out of here."
Yeah.
It's this guy who has no problem with what he's doing, inflicting harm on another human being.
It was almost like the almost every villain in Hostel.
Yeah. It's like they're there to do a job. They might as well enjoy their job. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like,
but that's why I liked Maul in the movie. Granted, Phantom Menace wasn't a great movie, but like he was the best part of that movie. Great part, and just that quiet. Like, I loved that. That's even Darth Vader, who talks a fair amount, is not arrogant.
He doesn't
loud.
monologue.
He just does what he does.
Yeah,
and that's why I really we could probably elaborate this on a different episode, but that's why I really didn't like Kylo Ren.
Oh God,
because I
hated Ren.
I know some people were like, "Well, that's the point, is that he's loud, he's young, he's obnoxious." And I'm like, yeah, and I get it, and it kind of makes sense as a character.
But it's like we've seen this before in every Star Wars movie.
The good guys, actually.
Yeah, but when it's the good guys doing it.
And that's what people have said too. They're like, well, that's the point, is like he's a bad guy who's struggling the same way the good guys did in the other ones. And I'm like, yeah, but my preference as for a villain is one that intimidates me. Mm-hmm. And when someone's that, it's like little dick energy when you're that loud.
It's whiny.
I don't get intimidated by that. Now, we'll go into the Star Wars movies on a different one. I feel like we'll rant for
we went from dinosaurs and kids and Jurassic Park movies, and now we're talking about
if Timmy grew up and was in Star Wars.
He'd be Kylo Ren. He'd be Kylo Ren for sure.
Good kid, smart.
Nothing.
Has a secret power or a hidden thing. Grant's trying to teach him. Or would that be Malcolm?
Oh no, it would be Grant.
Grant, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Grant,
because easily Malcolm's Han Solo.
Malcolm's Han Solo. You're right. I don't think Dr. Sattler. She wouldn't be Leia. I don't think. Do you think she's Leia?
I mean,
Leia without the romantic connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so Grant would sick a raptor on Timmy. Timmy would stop the raptor and just wreck the park. And become Kylo Ren.
And become Kylo
of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Kylo Tim.
Kylo Tim. Yes, Kylo Tim. That's a great analogy, actually.
It is. It works. Yeah. That's how relevant the Star Wars saga is. It's like you can draw conclusions to any argument with it.
It's true. Timmy is the Kylo Ren in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, we brought it up. Now you're gonna have to live with it. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, I think we've covered enough.
I think we have.
We've kind of gone across the spectrum
yeah,
there.
Yeah. We started at one place and ended in some place completely different. We just took a road trip through movies.
We did some work there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call it there. All right. On behalf of Danny, I'm Mike. Thank you for watching The Fake Philosophers. I will see you next time.